All right, welcome into another edition of Catching Up with Tommy Mag podcast here on 1010XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com, of course, and on their Facebook page. Good morning, Facebook. Hope life is good. Also streaming on the Relevant app, the super app, with live pop-up chat rooms surrounded by just podcasters galore all throughout. Hey, you too can be relevant on the Relevant app. Check it out at the App Store or on Google Play. RELEVNT, no A at the end. You know, listen, man, in today's day and age, you don't have to be on radio or on TV or write for a paper to be relevant in the media. So check it out and hope you all do just that. Today's show brought to you by Goodfellas Cigar Lounge and Spirits, located at St. John's Bluff Road. Just go check them out, man. You want a place during the day to chill, get away from it all, maybe do a little work. They have coffee, you have drinks, obviously a cigar. They got the top-notch Wi-Fi. You can make it a workplace. And then at nighttime, man, look out, baby. Some great nightlife at Goodfellas right there on St. John's Bluff Road, just south of Beach Boulevard and on the east side of the street. All right, freaking draft week, man. Gosh, I hated draft week. I shouldn't say I hated it. I knew I wasn't going to be drafted high. I think we had 7 rounds then. I think they went from 8 to 7, 1993. And I knew I wasn't going to be, a first day. And I think the first day back then was 1 through 3 or 1 through 4, whatever. I thought I was going to be maybe 5th, 6th, 7th, somewhere in that range, and didn't get drafted. Did not get drafted. I remember watching the ticker and seeing linebackers that I'd never even heard of. And you check them out. You look at everybody. You know who the top backers are in college football. There were plenty of them. Shaytree, he was number 1 for a reason, that guy. Holy moly. Marvin Jones, whoo, what a middle backer he was. He was, goodness gracious, everything you wanted out of a middle backer. He had the size, speed, everything, but there were plenty. Michael Barrow with Miami, Dave Washington from Washington Huskies. Dave Hoffman. Sorry, Dave. Great middle backer for the national champions. Teddy Johnson. He was big. I think he might have came out a year after, but just, look, there were a lot, but there were guys I didn't know. I was like, oh man, what the hell? I wasn't fast enough, I guess. I don't know what the problem is. But nonetheless, I'm not crying now. I'm just saying that draft day, 37 backers went in the draft, and I was not one of them. So that does give you a chip, obviously. You go to rookie free agent camp and work it out from there. And, of course, after a couple years of not making it, I finally made it here in Jacksonville. I'm very proud of that. It was an awesome time. And draft week is always an awesome time for you fans, and me too, now that I am a very big fan. A lot of talk going on, a lot of, what's Vegas saying, who are the Jags going to pick? Let me say this. I'm not even going to ask you. I'll just say it. If you're Doug Peterson and Trent Baalke, and this is your first year together, you got some time. It's not, you got to win, don't get me wrong, but it's not like if you don't win, they're going to do anything after the first year. They're not. You got a little bit of time. So I know everyone's going, and I know who I'd pick. I've made it very clear. I'm picking Evan Neal. He would be my guy. If they went Ikem, Ekwonu, great. I think those 2 offensive tackles are better than the defensive ends, in my opinion. But let me throw this out there. If you're those 2 guys, Peterson and Baalke, do you have the balls to pick your top-rated player on the board, just whoever that is? And I'm not talking position of need. You need good football players. You need great football players. You already have your QB, so that's always the caveat, right? With QBs there, exception to the rule. But the best player you have on the board, now it may be Neal. I'd be surprised if it's Hutchinson, but maybe it is on your board, not the media boards. They don't. Some know, Most don't know. They're guessing like everybody else. And a lot of them just piggyback on what the guys that do know, which are few and far between, what's going to happen. They just piggyback. Oh, no, he's great. He's going. I don't go by that. Look, each team may be different in how they look at players and how they grade them. Look, if Sauce Gardner is your top-rated player, let's just say he is. I don't think he would be, but let's just say he is. He's been high as number 2 or 3 on some mock drafts. Let's just say he is. Would they have the balls to pull the trigger on that? I know we don't necessarily need a corner, but you know what? Move Griffin inside, play him outside with Campbell. Okay, I don't know. I don't rank these players. I don't think I would have them that high. But do you have the cojones to do it? Whoever that is, it's not going to be a QB, right? So you have to even factor that in. They're saying, I keep seeing a surprise at number 1, a surprise at number 1. Look, here's my thoughts on Trayvon Walker, and I got nothing against Trayvon Walker. I hope he has a great career. I hope he gets picked high. I hope he does awesome, okay? I'm not picking him at number 1, and I'll tell you why. Because prior to the Combine, he's at 20th to 32nd or maybe even a second-round pick, which is it's great. There's nothing wrong with that. Prior to the Combine. Then the Combine happens, and then he jumps to number 1. You're jumping 20 to 25 spots based off Combine numbers, not based off your tape. And I know how the NFL thinks. Oh, wait, they look at these prospects like a mold, the clay. We're going to mold them. We're going to mold them into what. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. I mean, they probably thought they were going to mold Derek Harvey into a phenomenal pass rusher for this team, and he never became one. He never had any technique. He had all the physical tools in the world. He dominated in college. I loved when they picked him. I was like, oh, my God, this is going to be incredible. This kid's unbelievable. I watched him at Florida, and then he never had any moves. He just ran up the field and never did anything. And they traded up a lot. They gave up a lot for him, and I would have too. I wasn't like I didn't think it was a bad pick at the time, but you just don't know if it transitions, I'm worried that Hutchinson's game doesn't transition as well. I'm not saying he can't be a good player, but I don't think he's going to be an elite player. I don't think he's your double digits. First of all, if you're the Jags and you're going to play a 3-4, you're going to play him at outside backer, 6'7", 260, athletic, no doubt about it. But you're going to drop him from time to time in coverage. I mean, look, that's what he played in college. I get it. Look, you're not doing this at number 1, but I may beef him up and play him in the 5 technique. Might be better suited for that. I mean, look, if we're talking 3, if we're really talking need, let's just say defensively, okay? Where's our greatest need right now today? It's whoever's playing opposite Josh Allen. By the way, all this talk of him not getting a 5th-year option or they're not talking, really? He's got a lot to prove. I think he's very he's very athletic. He's got all the tools. He needs help. I've been saying that for a long time. He needs help. When Ngakoue was here, that's when he had his best year. Why? Because they were more worried about Ngakoue. When Ngakoue leaves and they don't have anyone to replace him at that high of a level, they slide it over to Josh. That's why he's hasn't been as productive. I mean, I looked at the game logs just yesterday. He disappeared in like 8. I mean, long stretch, 0, like maybe a few tackles, 0 sacks. I don't know. Look, so I'm waiting on his 5th-year option. I am. I want to look, and I hope he has a monster year. I do. I hope he has a monster year. I think he needs help. But if we're going by need, you need that. Number 1 is that outside backer in a 3-4. Correct? On this team, the Jaguars team, 3-4 defense, Mike Caldwell's going to run it. I got everything. And look, I still like Smoot. I want to find place for him. I think Chason, you move him off the ball inside, move him around. It could be like a bat, just moving around. We did that with Schmingy all the time. It was very effective. But I need another 3-4 outside backer. I need a Mathis to a Freeney. I need a Boza to an Ingram when they had it. You need it. You need the other guy. So I don't always have to take on the double team, or I don't always have to be the guy they chip, or I always don't have to deal with the tight end as well. They have to mix and match. So based on need, it's that 3-4 outside backer. I think most of us can agree on that. I still, again, I'm going offensive tackle. My franchise QB is my number one asset on this team. I'm going to protect him. I don't care if they do a long-term deal with Cam. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. I hope Cam gets a big bag of money, man. I love the new to get in his bag. I love it. Get that bag. It's bigger than ever. And I hope he does. Hey, if it doesn't work out, that 16+ million, almost 17 million for 1 year is a nice bag too. But I'm still going offensive line. Especially if that's, again, it's easier said than done. But you got to take best player that you have rated. You got the number one pick. Take the top rated player you have. Not, we don't really need him. No. If he's the best, take him. That's why you're at number one, to take the top player in the draft. And again, the quarterback is the caveat. But if I don't go OT, I'm not going Walker based on what I said. You don't move up 25 spots based on your 40 time. I think that's stupid. Show me on the tape. Show me that he dominates. Show me domination. Number one pick. You're dominating in college. Fair? You're the number one pick overall. You better be, top 10, you should be a dominant player in college. Without a doubt. And then can it translate? But I tell you what, if I'm going 3-4 backer, I'm not going Walker. I'm not going Hutchinson. I'm going Thibodeau. And that's a risk. Don't get me wrong. It's very risky because you're worried about, does he care enough? That's the whole, well, you know what? I'm going to put that back on Doug Peterson and his staff to make sure he cares enough, to make sure he understands the culture, even before I draft him, if in fact I'm going to draft him. He's got the most upside. He's got the highest ceiling. The thing I don't like about Walker for the Jags is, where are you going to play him? Well, you can play him anywhere. No, I don't want anywhere. I want the specific outside backer in a 3-4. Now, if Trayvon Walker is your highest rated player, take him. Have the balls to take him. You know what? And we'll never know really unless you're in there, but I'll take them at their word that he was their highest rated player. And I hope that's the case. And if he is, then take him. Yeah, then fine. We will figure out a place for him because he's that good. Right? Like you take a sauce. Where are we playing him, Tom? Well, you know what? We're going to find out. We're going to find out either outside, inside. We'll figure it out. But he's playing. He's a starter immediately. Impact player. I still feel they're going to, I think they're going to go Neal. I think all this other talk, you never know with smoke. And I don't know why they'd be smoke screening. Nobody's trading up, They're not. Who are you trading up for? I don't think Hutchinson's, Hutchinson, I hope I'm wrong. I just don't know. I think he's going to be a good player. I just don't think he's going to be like he was in college in that 1 year. I don't know. I think it's going to be a strong. I almost would rather see him as a 4-3 DN maybe, put on 15, 20 pounds. I don't see him as a stand-up. Now in college he did it, but you look. And that's what I don't like about, and the floor is, it's so, I don't want to say stupid because I'm not trying to, everybody says it now, but his floor is high. I don't know what that means. What does floor is high mean? I don't know. I want the ceiling high. If the floor is high and the ceiling's not high, what does that mean? Well, he was a great Division I college football player. Great. That's great. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's fantastic. If you never played another down and you could walk away and say, I was a great D1 player or D2 or fine. That's fantastic. But that doesn't mean that you're going to be great. We're talking about the number one pick. Number one pick. I don't care that it's not, he's the safe one. His floor is high. What does it mean? He tries hard? Whatever. He's not changing culture either. Just shut up with that crap. No rookies doing that, especially unless he, He gets 20 sacks. Maybe I'll listen to him. I'm kidding. 10. Whatever. I don't not feeling it. I watched him, and he's good. He's just, you know what? I feel like when I hear he has a high floor and he doesn't have that high of a ceiling, to me that says, you know what? He was really great at his level. Great. But this ain't the same level. Nowhere close. Okay, now I didn't go through. Now, Ohio State, he ripped through them. Who? I don't even know who the lineman he went against. Maybe I should have looked him up. Are they ball players? I don't care that they started at Ohio State. That doesn't mean they're NFL material. You know, there's a difference. There's a big difference in playing in the NFL and playing in major college football. I don't care what conference. I don't care what school. I don't care what athlete. There's a difference. And a lot of times it translates. It does. There's no doubt. But a lot of times it doesn't. And I just don't look at Aiden Hutchinson and be like, yeah, man, the potential of this kid. If I'm going number one, I don't want a high floor. I want a high ceiling. And I'm going to make sure I get him as close as I can to that ceiling. Anyway, you know who I'm picking. I'm going Neil, but you know what? If they go Ekwonu, fine. And I don't care. Look, if they pick Hutchinson, I'm like, great. I'm not one of those. Oh, you're wrong. You're not in the room. So unless you're in the room, you don't know. And I know everyone. You know, we all know. I know everyone knows everything on social media. Everybody. Unless you're in the room, you don't know. And I don't care, whatever. I'd rather be in the room than hear it from someone that may or may not have been in the room. Or they're hearing it from someone that may or may not have been in the room. And then it's like a game of telephone. And by the time you get it, it's like not even worth anything. So if they pick, I don't care who they pick. I'm a Jag for life. So let's effing go. I'm going to count on Doug to get him going in the right spot. I think that second pick, the 33rd pick's really going to be interesting. You know, who's going to be there? You know, who do you go with? So, like, if you go Hutchinson, what are you going next? You know, what are you going? Are you going to go O tackle if they're there? I don't know who's going to be there. Interior offensive lineman? Maybe. Yeah. Maybe have to do that. Because right now your guards are sure. By the way, I keep hearing different pronunciations of Brandon Scherff. No disrespect to the big man. Is it Sharif? Thought I heard Baselli say Sharif. I was like, Sharif, it doesn't spell like that. But Brandon, big dude. I love the guy. I mean, look, if he stays healthy, look out. Beast. Got to be healthy. Got to be healthy, and hopefully he can. You know, look, you never know. You never know. All I know is as you get older and you're taking a beating like those guys do on the line, man, that body breaks down. It sure does. But what are we going with? You know, a wideout? Pickens? Oh, he's trouble. Well, maybe. Maybe not. Got to interview him. You know, it's funny. Again, you know, nobody's in the interviews, but they all know what his problem is. I don't know. Tight end. Kid out of, who's a kid? Out of North Dakota State, I think. Tyler Smith, maybe, something like that. Supposed to be a really good player. Go tight end. Or if you go OT, you going D end? You going receiver or tight end? You know, I don't know. Look, I think if you don't go D end top, right, and you're not going to get, well, maybe Karflitis slides. I don't know, or the Boat Mafi, if he slides, maybe you get somebody like that. But if you don't, I'm not forcing it if I don't go D end first. You know what I mean? I'm not. I'm going to let Arden Key be my guy and move him around and all that. And I'm going to let the other guys fight it out. But that outside backer is very important in my opinion. Maybe there's somebody, maybe there's a backer, you know. Maybe one of those Georgia backers fits at 33. But I think that's going to be a really interesting pick. What if Lindenbaum slides? Like they're saying he may. I see him, you know, anywhere from 25 to the second round. Even if you went offensive tackle, I'd probably do that. I mean, you got to just solidify the O-line. And the left tackle, I'm sorry, if you're going to have a franchise QB, you should have a franchise left tackle. My opinion. and then let the rest work itself out. And right now, what I say, you got Brandon and you've got Ben Barch. Maybe Little can play guard. Gosh, he'd be a beast of a guard. 6'7", 330 guard. He can bend, too. That guy's really flexible. Looking forward to seeing him in year 2. You know, look, year 1 to year 2 is like night and day. Especially when you get a taste of playing. And even like if you don't and you practice, you get comfortable. It slows down for you. You're not in awe of anybody anymore. You're part of the team. You can hang, no problem. Like then you go into year 2 and I'm growing, I'm maturing. The weight room's my friend. I'm training like a son of a gun. Then you walk into year 2, man, you're a totally different animal. The confidence is through the roof. And should be. And then even it continues on. So exciting week. Again, I'm going to go with the tackles. One of them, I'm going Neal. I like Neal. Look, I read somewhere, and I'm only bringing this up because it made a lot of sense. And after you watch him, it makes a ton of sense. 6'7", 350, who moves like he's 50 pounds lighter. That's an athlete, man. That's 350 that moves like 300. That's Baselli toes, That's Baselli kind of feet. We'll see. Like to see more, but if he truly moves like a 300-pounder and he's 350, and Ekwonu, look, this kid is unbelievable. I like that he's a former wrestler. He's long, just as long, like I mentioned last podcast, just as long as Evan Neal in the arm length. I'd be fine with Ekwonu. I'm going to be fine with anybody. I think we need to me, the offensive line prospects are better than the defensive end prospects, with the caveat being Thibodeau has the highest upside to me out of the edge rushers. And it's 6'4", 250 plus with great speed, great hands. He's got to work on some counter moves. I understand that. That's going to be up to some coaches and working at it. You can get better with your hands. There's no doubt about it. Go ask an MMA fighter if that's true, in fact. But you can. You can get faster. You can get quicker, more powerful. I think he would be an interesting pick. He would. Now, he'd be more need. I'd be shocked if he's my highest-rated player. But if we're going need and 3-4 backer is a need, again, I'm going OT first, but if 3-4 backer is a need, I'm probably going Thibodeau. So, but I hope they just go best player. They got the top-rated player, period. And let's rock and roll and get to number 33. And who knows, maybe he can move up. You don't know. Got to throw some meat on the bone. I read where there's 8 teams, 6 or 8 teams with 2 picks in the first round. Think of that ammo. That's badass. We've had it, obviously. We've had it 2 years in a row. Yeah, that's right. Jeez. Man, I hope ETN comes back healthy. If he comes back healthy and is the home run hitter that we all thought he was going to be, that's going to be what a weapon that's going to be. I hope that kid, for his sake, first and foremost, that his NFL life stays intact. And you want to talk about ceiling. Get that kid involved. And by the way, if he's healthy, that's another first-round draft pick for you this year. No wear and tear on him.
If you're having a bad day, just watch Travis Etienne Clemson highlights. And remember, he's on your football team.
Just watch the old Mazda commercials. Zoom, zoom. That's what you'll see out of that kid. And I hope it happens. I hope Cisco develops. I hope Little develops. I think Campbell's going to be a stud. I do. I've been saying that for a while, man. Once he learns even more how to work that ball, I think you better watch out. And they want to play. If they're going to be aggressive, you got to have guys that can hold up at the line of scrimmage. Got to have long and lean and strong, DBs that can cover but can also jam and make sure you give your rushers an extra split second to get there. Do wonders.
If Tyson Campbell continues to progress and Cisco develops, all of a sudden you got a damn good back end.
And you got to have ETN come through, I think. That was a risky move. Even at 25, although I would have done it. I think it was 25, whatever it was. I would have taken him. I think he's a home run hitter, and you know what? Urban was right about one thing. This team lacked speed last year. Big time. And he brought speed. And you know what? I'm glad he didn't take Tony. Look what's happening with Tony. They're trying to shop him now. So I'm rolling with ETN. Doesn't mean I'm not addressing running back later in the draft, but I'm okay with J-Rob and ETN and seeing if they can come back healthy.
And I don't know if this was more of an Urban thing or more of a bulky thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But say what you want about either one of those guys. One of the most underrated free agent signings in the entire league last year was Jamal Agnew.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah,
you're talking about needing speed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that dude stepped in and played receiver like he's been playing his whole life. He was a DB a couple years ago.
Well, he can run routes like a receiver. His route running was unbelievable. His toe touches by the sideline were unbelievable. I mean, he knows what he's doing.
Can catch the ball, too.
To me, that's a Tyreek Hill. Use him as a Tyreek Hill. Why wouldn't you?
I
mean, he's a weapon and a half, man.
Oh, my goodness.
I love it. I saw some video where he's walking. It doesn't look like he's limping, so that's good. Tearing that hamstring, that was a nasty.
And you get a little bit of that same. You get that same type of speed in the backfield with ETN too.
Right.
Now all of a sudden you got that speed out wide and in the backfield,
or just in the slot, all over the place in motion. You see how they move Tyreek Hill all over and create the mismatch? You could do the same.
I wanted to bring something up to you, because there's been a lot. There's been a lot made up. I know. There's been a lot made up of Christian Kirk, and you paid all this money for a slot guy, for a slot receiver, whatever. Yeah. To me, you're living 15 years ago if you're hung up on that. Because look at the best receivers in the NFL today.
Yep.
They play all over the place.
Yep.
Devontae Adams, Cooper Kupp.
Oh, yeah.
Those guys are in the slot all the time.
Yep.
Because if I'm a smart offensive coordinator, and I want to be creative and I want to get my guys in positions, in good positions.
Yep.
Why, if I'm playing the Rams, why would I allow my receiver to just stand there and let Jalen Ramsey just man up on him? Why would I do that?
Jam me at the line.
Yeah, why would I do? Why not motion him all over the place and get him matched up with some linebacker that can't keep up?
Or just create the space.
Right.
Even if he's locked on, it's hard to get a jam when you're in motion.
Absolutely.
Very hard.
So it's like, to me, if Christian Kirk can be that, and there's a bunch of horizontal movement, I'm getting him in favorable matchups and favorable space, like you're saying, who cares?
Right. First of all, Jags have plenty of cap room. So you got to take a swing. You got to take a shot.
Absolutely.
And I don't care. It's not my money. I don't care if they overspent for Christian Kirk. All I care about is if he scores touchdowns and first downs and doesn't drop the ball and creates mismatches. I don't give a crap. If he does it on the field, are you going to sit there after year one and be like, man, he was great, but we sure did overpay?
No, you're going to be like,
he's got
what
10
a damn
touchdowns.
Good signing.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome, but man, we overpaid. Like, shut up. It's not your money. Who's calling me? I'm busy. You see I'm busy, man. Anyway, that doesn't bother. The market is the market. Like some guys are going to get more than the market. Some guys are going to get less. Some guys are going to get the market. The money keeps rising. It's going to keep going up. It's
literally just a couple.
Cares?
Like people were
I was playing today. I'd be making like $3 million as a backup. God damn.
People were freaking out.
1 year deals, no problem.
People were freaking out because he became like the third highest paid receiver or whatever, and then literally a couple weeks later, like 3 dudes passed him.
Yeah,
it's like in 2 years, dude.
Well, and the way it's set up,
yes.
it's he got a good signing bonus, but other than that, I don't think it's that.
If he's not any good, and he's not what the Jaguars paid for, or whatever, you can be completely out of that deal in 2 years,
right? Well,
and if he is good, you'll gladly pay him that extra money,
of course,
gladly,
exactly. He outplays his contract for
you're
sure.
scoring me touchdowns. No one's going to be like, oh, yeah, but that extra cup. Like, no,
who cares?
Who cares?
Right. I think it's funny. No one brings up the Zay Jones signing. Who is Zay Jones? You gave him 3 years. And I don't, no disrespect, but I mean, you know who Christian Kirk is.
Right.
You saw him make plays,
right.
Number 13 for Arizona. He made plays all over the place. Fast as shit. You saw him all over. Excuse my language, but he's fast. You know, I don't
We're on
know
a pod,
Zay
you're good.
Jones. No one says anything like, man, why'd you pay Zay Jones 3-year, $30 million? Why didn't you keep, what's his name, for 12?
Chark.
Yeah, DJ Chark for 12. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody scrutinizes that one. I think if there's one to scrutinize, it's that one. Like, okay, nice player. Look, flashy at times, got a lot of speed, maybe. And here's the thing. You're not paying for the past. You're paying for the future. The upside, right? In the player and what they bring to the team, right? What's the upside in Kirk? Touchdowns. That's his upside. That he's going to score a ton of touchdowns. Great.
And catch a ton of passes.
And catch a ton of passes and be there when he's needed and not drop balls and be contagious to everybody.
What I hope Kirk can be, and every team needs this, and it's such an underrated part of any successful offense and any really good quarterback. You've got to have a reliable security blanket type guy. You've got to have a guy.
Yeah,
it's third and 4. I know I can give you 6.
That's right.
You need that dude.
Totally.
And that is so underrated to keep drives going.
No doubt. We need it. So look, I don't that will never bother me. I'll be honest I keep hearing they want to extend Cam. I'm almost like, why? You got him for a year. What's the rush?
You lower this year's cap number dramatically, but
yeah, okay. And if you have to do that to keep him, you know what I mean? It doesn't fit. I get that. That's the business side. But if you don't, I don't think I would.
I think if you were truly in the market to try to go like trade for Deebo Samuel or something like that, then it makes sense because you need that extra cap room.
Right.
But it doesn't look like they're going to do something like that.
Yeah.
So I kind of agree with you at that point. Take one of these tackles. It's
probably going to be a 2-year. It may look like a 4-year, but like other contracts. Heavy load. He's going to get a big sign-on bonus, and should. If you're gonna pay him, you got to pay him. You got to pay him a certain whatever the market is for him. You're gonna have to pay him. So I think that and again, I said it earlier, I don't care if if Cam gets a new deal, that's fantastic for Cam. I'm still picking one of the tackles. And I'm picking Neal. I think that's a rare size of a man who can move the way he does. I think that's rare. And when and he can play. You know what I mean? He's not raw. He's not a raw project. He's a day one starter. Where you put him, look, if you have 5 great offensive linemen, does it really matter where you put him?
I love that he played basically everything in college.
Yeah.
He played guard and both tackles.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, me too.
Me
too. And that's why, to me, I just keep Cam on that 1 year, see what happens. Maybe he plays lights out. You don't want to. Then you want to extend him. Maybe even pay him more than you're going to pay him. And maybe, you're like with Neal, you're like, you know what? He's a great guard. I don't care what the pundits say. He was the highest rated player on our board, and we're playing him at guard. And guess what? He's kicking the crap out of everybody. He's one of the most dominating guards. You know what I mean? So be it.
It's not dissimilar from the conversation we were just having about paying Kirk or whatever and how much money and whatever.
Right.
If they're producing at whatever position, who cares?
Right.
What's more important than getting positional value at number 1?
Right.
Having 5 really good offensive linemen.
No doubt.
That's what
winning
matters.
And protecting my franchise QB.
Right.
And it's funny, and I don't have his name in front of me, but people throw stats out. Well, the stats weren't that bad. Okay, but did you watch the games? Okay, let me just overview of this 17-game season last year. What level of abuse did our quarterback take? Extreme, high, moderate, mild, or low?
I'd probably say moderate.
Moderate to high. I would say moderate to high. Not extreme. When under constant pressure.
I'll say I would have said high had Trevor Lawrence not been mobile. His mobility
helped him out.
Got him out of a lot of hits. Okay. I think if he was like a statue, I would have said high.
Right. So that's too high for me. Moderate to high.
I can agree with that.
And I think when we look at Cam, I think it's fair to say 85% of the time he does his job. You don't have to worry about him. Fair?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I mean, would you just go higher?
No, I think 85 is about right.
85 is about right. Okay.
And I've said I think Cam is a B+ player.
Yeah.
Which is about 85%.
I'm not saying you can't win with Cam, but Neal is an upgrade over Cam, in my opinion, as an offensive lineman. That's my opinion. Now, that's, again, you play him at guard, whatever, you move him out to tackle. Now, when you think of my left tackle and my franchise QB, do I want 85% or do I want 95 to 99% like all the top left tackles give you week in and week out? I, for one, want 95 to 99. I want to forget about the guy across from my left tackle. I want a guy like Trent Williams that just takes care of it. You know, like the head bouncer? Where's the head bouncer? We need him. Boom, boom, boom. Comes in, picks up the culprit. Out they go. Just that's who I want. I want a beast of a man protecting my franchise QB, and I want Trevor Lawrence taking him out every Thursday night and feeding him as many steaks as he wants at the best steakhouse in the entire city of Jacksonville. That's what you do for your offensive linemen. You feed them. Let them drink if they want. Make sure they get home safe. But that's what you do if you're if you're a quarterback. You take your linemen and you feed them. And when your left tackle is protecting you like I expect Evan Neal to protect you, you got to feed the beast. Give him anything he wants. And then at the end of the year, buy him a nice gift, like all quarterbacks do. So there you go.
You see what Jonathan? He's not a quarterback. But you see what Jonathan Taylor did at the end of last year for the Colts?
Yeah, I kind of.
He bought them all like watches. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Like he bought the whole line watches. Yeah. I thought that was cool.
Brunel bought his line 41 Magnum revolvers. They were massive. Me and Cheever went and shot it at the range. It was like bigger than Dirty Harry. It was like, boom, like you're hunting buffalo with this damn thing. It was
That's crazy. Awesome.
Yeah, that was kind of a cool gift. You know, nice little.
That's a lineman gift.
Yeah, let's go shoot some.
Right.
I don't know, whatever. All right, that's gonna do it. This will be my last. I'm gonna get on the app on Friday, the Relevant app. I'll be up in Charleston. I'm going to miss Friday. I know. I could have went out to Vegas. I had a all-expenses trip paid to go to Vegas with the fellas, but it's my daughter's 21st celebration. I know she's already turned 21. I know this is like her third party, if you will, but we're going to Charleston with 7 of her friends, and we're going to have a great time. 2 nights in and out, of course. Thursday night, I'm going to be watching a draft somewhere at the beach. Going to be so. I'm jacked up. And even for the whole draft. And I want to see what happens. And, hey, man, at the end of the day, I'm a Jag for life, and I wish the Jags nothing but the best. Trent Baalke, Doug Peterson, Shad Khan, Mark Lamping, the whole group. Hope you guys pick the right person, the right player, the right man. And, man, we keep kicking ass all throughout the draft. That'll do it for me right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mac podcast on 1010XL's podcast platform at 1010XL.com. Of course, on their Facebook page and streaming live on the Relevant app. Hey, the week continues on Relevant. You've got Men in Teal podcast at 2 p.m. on the Jaguars Fanatics channel. Myself and UCF Jaguar will jump on Duval Vibes later tonight at 8 o'clock. Tomorrow night, or tomorrow day, let me say, at 5 o'clock Eastern, Sean Salisbury, the QB Hour with Sean Salisbury kicks off again, and that'll be on the NFL. That'll be on Sean Salisbury's channel. Thank you. And then later that night, in the huddle, 7 p.m., we'll do our pre-draft game, pre-draft show right there on the NFL Fanatics channel. So I'm going to post it and put the lineup down, but a great lineup, former players talking about the game that they love. Until next time, stay safe and be cool. We'll see you right here on Catching Up with Tommy Mac.